Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, get that back in.
I don't think that people would like to have it where they're doing super moves. I think just because it's not a game based off super moves. That's why was it when they were talking about what was it, Street Fighter or Tekken Cross Street Fighter, which they haven't really said anything about since. When they were talking about that, I was curious as how they're going to throw in like someone like Ryu who does like fireballs and stuff like that into a game like that. How are they going to do that? Because they have certain move sets that they can do for doing the fireballs or the shoryuken or whatnot. But how is it going to like mesh with the world of Tekken? Like with Tekken meshing with Street Fighter, that's simple. I mean, you have simple moves that you take and you just throw them into a Street Fighter game. Boom, you have it. But for Tekken, it focuses a lot more on punches and kicks. It focuses more on combos. That's why special moves, I just don't see them adding anything special.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying special moves. You know what I'm saying? But just the opportunity to, after you've already kind of beaten them to a pulp, you know what I'm saying? Just have, because once you pretty much deplete their energy, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? You just move on and keep it going.
Yeah, but that's DOA, man.
Hey, good point though. I mean, DOA, but I'm saying though, DOA is just like Tekken. And so Calibur also has finishers.
Everybody's doing it though.
But still, I think that would be something that,
and
as a fan, I would like to see.
In a way, Tekken has had them. I mean, both Wang and Paul have their like super punch that can like punch through everything.
Everybody has like that charge.
Yeah.
That charge,
that would be considered like a special.
But even then, what I would like, okay, you just prove my point for me. What I would like to see is if you get hit with that charge attack and you know that it's going to deplete your life, there should be a way that once it hits you, you should just be able to it should be an automatic 10-hit combo that follows that.
Oh, so you want it kind of
that's what I'm saying, like that.
You want like Street Fighter or
yeah.
I don't want that.
I would. I mean, like I said, Soul Calibur 4 implemented, a finisher in theirs. And trust me, some of them were pretty freaking dope. Especially Killers. But then again, I like Killers because that's my favorite character.
I just think that'll take away from the strategy and the skill of the game.
Not really, because at the same time, you're still going to have to pummel your opponent.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take away from it. If anything, that just kind of adds to how bad you're kicking the ass.
So how would you implement it? Would you implement it like because I kind of was bothered when they did this in Street Fighter, the Ultra Meter, where basically you're getting destroyed, and if you get enough damage, you'll get your Ultra Meter, and then you can use your Ultra Meter. It's a separate part of your from your regular meter.
Regular super meter.
Yeah. So should it be like that, or should it be like should they add a meter to Tekken?
I think they should like add a meter to Tekken. Okay. I think that would work. So, you know what I mean?
So we have like meter burns and stuff like that.
Yeah. But there has to be something different that Tekken has to add in because
I just can't see it for Tekken. The idea bothers me.
You were just being adamant about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of the
Okay, watch this. All right, watch this. Okay, would you rather have Tekken have finishers, or would you rather have Mortal Kombat not have fatalities? Think about it.
But that's a different no.
Okay, all right.
No, you can't. It's like if you take Mortal Kombat and you take out the fatalities, that means it's not Mortal Kombat anymore. They tried to do that with the DC versus don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that. Yeah. And it didn't work because you got Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is all about being like bam and blood and gore and ripping people's heads off and stuff like that. Tekken's not like
But
that.
yeah, I'm not saying that they should just rip people's heads off. I'm not saying that.
It's a totally different formula though. If you're adding meter into how would the meter do anything for Tekken?
I mean, they'd have to figure that out. But I'm just saying though, like I'm just giving an example of how I think Tekken would be able to keep its mass appeal up.
I personally say, this is my personal opinion, that they should just leave the formula the same for right now. Add something new. No meter though. No meter. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to disagree on this.
Right.
Okay, well, watch this. Okay, all right. Have you ever played the original Killer Instinct?
Yes.
Okay. Remember the original Killer Instinct? You had the opportunity to actually do fatalities.
Yeah.
Okay. When they revamped it for the Xbox One, they didn't add fatalities in it.
Which
To me,
they're thinking about adding in season 2.
but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, they deviated from their original format. So for me, I feel like if they can deviate from the fact that they did not have fatalities, even though they did keep the ultra combos, because I mean at that point they don't keep the ultra combos, and I'm really gonna be upset. But they deviated from that, and you know the game's still a hit. So I feel like Tekken can at least, that's the least Tekken could do to just go ahead and add on to help the brand.
I say if after Tekken 7, they should make, if they're going to do something different, then do it then. If they're going to continue to make Tekken, I say keep the same formula, because Street Fighter's kept basically the same formula over time. It's evolved in a way. Then I think that Tekken should evolve in its own way. I don't.
But
think
how
it
can
should,
they? But what I'm saying is, if the past couple games that have come out, they've lost appeal. What can you do that's not going away from the norm of what they've been doing? That's going to add appeal. That's what I'm getting at.
But I think adding what everybody else has is not. It's counterproductive. I mean, for Tekken.
I mean, it all depends. It all depends on how they do it. You can't, like it depends on how they do it. You know what I'm saying? If it looks like they were trying to emulate it off of another game, then yeah, I can see how it would be counterproductive.
Yeah.
But if it stays, but if it at least stays true to the Tekken brand, and they do it, then it can't help but generate more buzz.
I just like the feeling of that struggle that you have when you're playing Tekken, of trying to get that hit in, that last hit in, and you don't know what it's going to be, because it could be a thing of finesse and style, or it could just be something with power.
Yeah.
I do like that. I don't want it to be like same, like Mortal Kombat has, don't get me wrong, they're cool and they look awesome, but it's the same fatality, whereas or the same like finisher or special. Whereas in Tekken, they have multiple moves that are specials that you could say, like Heihachi has the uppercut, so does Kazuya. Kazuya has the spinning. Like,
he
uppercut.
has the spinning lightning uppercut.
Was it Law has the super side kick of doom that Bruce Lee does? He has that. So they have their own. They have special moves technically. It's just that it's not in the sense of finishers, and I don't want it to be in the sense of finishers, because that's not Tekken. Tekken's not built on that.
Yeah, but that's why I said their finishers could be like an auto 10-hit combo that you don't necessarily have to pull
So
off.
you're looking at like Street Fighter, or better yet, King of Fighters. King of Fighters.
Exactly.
So you hit a
Exactly.
button combination, and then it's just like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that it has to be like,
I think they do that with their grabs. They kind of do that with some of their grabs. Like King, if you know how to use King. Oh my
King
God.
and Armor King are different cases because they have those grabs that you can just you keep changing it on and on and on.
It's just you play that one good King player, and you just put the controller down and walk away from the stick.
Yeah, at that point, like the minute he grabs you, you just put it down and walk
grab.
away. You know you're not getting. You know there's no way you're gonna have any life left after he pulls that whole thing off.
You're not. But I just don't see it happening that way. And personally, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them add super combo. So,
I'm gonna play Tekken anyway because I genuinely like it. But I'm just saying that I just think that's a way that it can regenerate the buzz that it had years ago when Tekken was pretty dominant. You know what I'm saying?
you're wanting to take the same path as a lot of other games are taking with meters and stuff like that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not necessarily even saying that it has to have a meter, but it has to do something against the grain of what they've done thus far to bring about more massive. You know,
there's got to be another way for them to do it.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna throw a hypothetical out for you. Say Tekken 7 comes out, and it's pretty much the same format as all the other Tekkens before this.
Okay.
And the sales don't really come out the way they wanted to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, if you know that it's pretty much a make or break game for you, to where do we even make it Tekken 8 after this?
Or do we just
or do we pretty much just
start from scratch and new everything?
Right.
Which I think for Tekken it's about time. If they're going to stay with Tekken, they should keep the same formula. If they're going to do something new, then they should do something new. They should just start all over.
Yeah, but this, okay. So this is what I'm going to ask you. If Tekken 7 doesn't do as well as they expected to with the current format that they have, and Tekken 8 comes out and nothing's changed, is there a possibility that there is even a Tekken 8?
No. I think that Tekken at that point would die. I'm actually thinking, since they're finishing the Mishima Bloodline story, that there might not be a new Tekken.
But at the same time, that would kind of segues perfectly into my point.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So you think that adding meter and super combos would?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying both have to be incorporated.
I just can't picture them super combo finish KO. That in my head, I just think of Marvel vs. Capcom 1 with their super combos and stuff. I
can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I do love Street Fighter and things of that nature.
Well, yeah.
So that's so most of the time that's where my mind is.
Don't get me wrong. I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
With Tekken, it's a different type of game. It's a different type of fighting game.
I know.
That's like, I say it kind of like everybody's doing it. Super Smash Brothers did it with their Smash Ball. Soul Calibur did it.
Even Super Smash Brothers has a freaking finisher, okay? Come on now.
Yeah.
If Super Smash Brothers can have a finisher, why can't Tekken?
Everybody's doing it, though. That's the problem.
But you got to think about it, though. That's what, that almost kind of, you can't, do you see how it would intrigue people to play, though? Because now you're going to want to play, not only to kick somebody's head in, which is the ultimate goal when you play fighting games anyway, but now you're going to want to do it because you're like, oh snap, you know they got finishers now, right? You got that point, you're like, what? Tekken? Finishers?
Yeah, that just, it would add a new dynamic to Tekken that I don't think Tekken needs.
Well, I'll put it like this. If they want to do anything after Tekken 7, might want to consider it.
All right, well, we'll just agree to disagree on this.
I most certainly agree that we will agree to disagree on this.
Because video games.
Best kept secret.